we tell the story of Sir Christopher Montague, Sextus, and Thomas Wilkins. Tonight is quite of an interesting night because, my friends, you're gonna be venturing into the den of knowledge, and that is the museum, right? The British Museum. I believe last time we left off in a particular section of the museum, right? We remember that there was a gala, and you snuck into that gala, that event, museum, um, almost, almost unnoticed, right?
Almost.
Completely unnoticed, actually.
Hmm. Unless the DJ is paying close attention to who attends the event, in which case they won't be expecting you, of all people, strutting in unopposed, undeterred. So
I
you do
missed an
remember.
opportunity to play a vampire who was around in the Spanish Inquisition, because then I could have pulled the "no one expects the Spanish Inquisition" joke.
You do remember that you snuck in the museum through the tunnels. Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
You were led here
We.
by.
Ne-
Go
Quick question regarding that. Did we go through the ward's domain or did we skirt around it?
We skirted around it. We didn't actually ever enter it.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's quite accurate. Pretty much accurate. You skirted around it, and you remember the grating that actually you met at the crossroads, and there was someone behind that grating. Was it Patience?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're definitely aware that you passed by the world's domain visibly. So thankfully,
Yep.
Caleb was with you, and Caleb was your guide. He actually led you here, and whilst he waited for you um, at the exit, at the entrance, so to say. Now you're at the museum. You do remember what you're here for, right?
We're here for what's her name? William. Her first name.
Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn?
Gwendolyn. Yeah.
Good. Jesus Christ! I need to deprogram myself from Doctor Who. Yeah, William Van Owen. Yes,
Indeed. But you,
and we are dressed in undercover. What are they called? The Syndexio uniforms.
of course.
Yep.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. One of my good ideas, actually.
Splendid, splendid. So, having actually refreshed our memory, let us carry on with our story. First and foremost, you look at each other. You realize that in this particular event that you're attending as well, there's going to be a lot of people who can get in between yourselves and the treasure you are looking for. You remember that you're here for to cross an item off your list because you need it. It is a Mithraic item, and you are Mithras's chosen ones. You remember the Phrygian, hmm? The cup that Mithras himself used to wear. This one has been entrusted to said Bruja Elder, the Gwynlian Van Arwen, and she is its current holder. But still, in this museum here, it will be a tad difficult to actually parley with a vampire in plain sight and gain something, and gain that particular relic. But we're gonna find out, right? I mean, last time we stopped when you actually entered a particular area of the British Museum. You found yourselves at the Western Gallery, the one that housed the Roman British and, well, it's a gallery about the Roman past of the of this island. What Rome has left here is depicted in various different relics, various utensils, swords, vases, you name it, anything that would betray the original history of this place when it used to be a Roman province. Now, as you enter that particular area, as I said before, you do look at each other in the eye and you do feel that your resolve has been renewed. It feels that the Mithric cult is here and that you are doing the business that you have been entrusted to do. As such, and thus, I want you please to refresh your willpower points, as many willpower points as your composure or resolve, whichever is the highest.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still have aggravated willpower.
Mm. The bad thing about that aggravated point of willpower is that you will need to get in touch with your touchstone, Thomas.
I don't think I have any. I really don't think I've given myself any.
Still, you can find some, right? And it really depends on how you appease your beast. If you, for example, if you stay away from your humanity and you seek to appease your beast with other means, then you can easily trust the very ceremonial voldry that you've done before and conduct it once more. This might give you your damaged willpower point back. And the same
Yeah, I
might.
don't know if I can convince everybody to do it again, but we'll see.
Oh, I believe that your coterie would be far more excited to actually try it once more. Right, coterie? Right? So, without further ado, I also want you to renew your desires, right? Not ambitious desires, the short term goals that you get to use. And if you succeed in actually attaining your desires, then you're going to be getting an experience point or more, depending on the precariousness of the situation. And on top of that, you're going to be getting some willpower points refreshed. But I've said so many things. Let's go back to that particular place that you have snuck in. Now let's enter that area. The place is still brimming with people. The music is just a memory that can be safely locked away out of your mind right now. It's not selective hearing that you have, it's just that you are so dead on focused to the thing that you are looking for. Now, I need to zoom into your own minds. What might you be thinking right now? Text as you look around and you see again people um, staring at some, display cases, listening to what the professors invited here have to say. So many things about how Roman life used to be here in the Great Albion and so on and so forth. But what's in your mind
She is at the moment more distracted by the artwork
right
than anything else. Tori she has to appreciate the beauty of the moment.
now?
So she remembers why she's here. She just is kind of off in her own little world, just wandering around. Maybe that's enough to attract Gwendolyn's attention. A
Mhm.
rogue Sindecula agent just not paying attention to what they're supposed to be doing.
Mhm. Mhm. You're actually giving us a great idea tonight, right? So perhaps there might be a chance that while you are surrounded by such magnificence, You might end up getting sucked by its splendor. You mentioned it before, you mentioned your Toreador blood, and you truly, out of all the people here, you are the one who can understand the aesthetic fixation that you can have, your bloodline can have, as the desire for beauty can take control over you. Hmm? So, that being said, do you believe that perhaps a role is in order? Something that will definitely portray that difficulty that you might end up having besides its.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Is
do
it
think
the
a role would be.
mhm. Besides it's not the first time that you actually got the chance to feel that thing, the 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 magnetism, the attraction that these things offer to you. And when I say things, I mean the works of art. Mm? Now, immediately you feel like you get reduced in size, as if your importance gets overshadowed and overpowered by these works of art. These are lifeless ones. They keep on granting their splendor to entire civilizations, right? And even
Yeah,
though you are eternal, just as they are, you really feel that you're envious of the splendor that they emit and of the history that they have, which means that throughout the entire scene, please be afflicted by your bane, which means that you are going to get your bane severity of 2 reduced from all discipline roles, discipline pools you are building. Because as you lose yourself to the moments of beauty and, well, who knows what's going to happen. Anything that you want to mention regarding that?
all right. So everything's reduced by 2.
Yeah, all the discipline pools are reduced by 2. Not the disciplines, the pool that you
Okay.
build whilst using a discipline, they lose 2
Okay.
dice.
Okay. Well, that's gonna suck.
Well, whilst you are in this room, right?
Yeah.
Sir Christopher and Thomas, you glance at Sextute and you see her eyes marveling at what she is experiencing right now. It's almost equivalent to the Stendhal syndrome, a medical syndrome that afflicts many people visiting Florence, the city of Florence. But let's also zoom to your minds as well. Thomas, a penny for your thoughts. Thomas, can you hear me?
Thomas is. Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm.
sorry.
I'm trying. Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure
sorry,
out what
sorry, sorry.
I'm doing here. Um, Thomas will kind of be looking around at the art as well, just not in as much captivation as poor Sextus. And also kind of people watching. He'll be looking like he's actually kind of doing his job, but he is specifically looking for uh Gwendolyn
Hmm.
as he's moving around.
Hmm. Last night we did mention before that you actually noticed here. Gwendolyn is here. She is not looking at you actively, but she is. Definitely pay attention to what the professors are saying here and there. Her scarlet eyes quickly darting around as she tries to blend in with the crowd. Now you may look at her visage, but the white of her eyes is not, well, the rest of her eye is not black as it showed here. She has scarlet eyes, scarlet pupils, right? And white um, around her eyes. She might be looking a tad dashing and mesmerizing, but she's all too natural. One would even mention that she even invoked the blush of life, such as you have. So, Thomas, sorry about that
No, you're
parenthesis.
fine. um, we'll definitely find the other two coterie members and kind of point out where she is so we can keep tabs on her.
Mhm. People
But
you
then
don't.
he'll continue to kind of move around and blend in.
Mm. The rest of your coterie members notice you bringing this to their attention. You immediately spot a scarlet-haired woman that people call Gwendolyn Glenarvan. You're not familiar with how she looks like, but your friend is, and Thomas has pointed her to you. Now, while saying that, let's ask Sir Christopher what he's thinking.
So Christopher is in a state of heightened awareness right now. He is looking around everywhere. He is taking in every single detail of the space, the people. He, as if he expects something to go so badly wrong to the point that he's going to invoke it or something. Uh,
It into existence.
he is indeed looking around, obscenely aware of every single person in the room, every single presence, everything.
So,
But his attention is mostly focused on Gwenllian and the target at hand.
mhm. Sir Christopher, do you imply that you're actively kind of spying on the kind?
Not
So,
spying.
mhm. Is there a role
More,
that's needed,
more,
or?
more along the lines, of looking down upon everyone like a hawk.
Hmm. I understand.
Uh, ah, a role. You know what? There is going to be a roll, but first, I'm going to spend 6 of my XP,
Okay.
increase my awareness to 2 from 1.
Mm. That being said, then one would recommend that you should be rolling your Wits Plus awareness, Sir Christopher.
I will indeed be rolling my Wits Plus awareness the moment I have added the second dot. It has been added.
And since
So,
you have activated your heightened senses, I would
I
kindly
don't have
also.
high I
Sorry.
don't have heightened senses in the sense of Auspex
Okay, okay.
yet. But I do have a specialty in profiling,
I don't need that for the moment, I'm afraid.
uh, in which case a dice pool of 5 with an awareness.
I see. So let's see. Let's find out what's going on. If you spot something, use
Difficulty?
the difficulty for that should be 4.
Okay.
Ooh, 2 successes.
No. I need to drastically increase my awareness, I
Mm,
would say.
Mhm.
mm. Will you rest with, well, quote unquote, rest with with that result, Sir Christopher?
I will leave it at that for now, yes.
Cool. So as you glance around, you see, the people filling up the hole. You see Quinlian keeping tabs on everyone, just as you are doing, and she also looks at you. She doesn't eat well, but she does not behave as if she has noticed a kindred or anything. As you glance around at the gallery, you see nothing odd. People are around the display cases, and at one point you look at that rectangular hall that you find yourself in, surrounded by relics and people, and these shout, then they are shouts, and there are murmurs and soft voices under whispered breaths. All these things, all these things just immediately recalibrate your mind as they kind of push you out of the picture and allow your senses to drift away back to a familiar chamber, well known for its rectangularity. You look around, you see darkness, shadows, and as soon as you open your eyes, you are surrounded by pillars, marble pillars,
Hmm.
quite familiar. They are quite familiar. Their architecture looks quite Roman. You see braziers burning here and there. You see lights at the back, and you see scaffolding almost everywhere. People are working here. You see the light of the moon penetrating, well, falling down from the hole from the main chamber, and you immediately recognize that you are in a familiar place. You've been here before. That's the Mithraeum, the place where Mithras is revered by all of you. But that's quite odd, specifically odd, because the Mithraeum that you find yourselves in right now pales in comparison to the majestic, grandiose splendor of the original one. Is there a chance that you find yourselves in the same place at a different time? You look at each other, you see your familiar faces, right? And immediately behold something different. That all three of you are dressed in a Roman servant's garb, and on top of that, you are olive skinned. The sun has kissed your skin. You have you have walked out in the sun, and you did not get burned. In that particular moment, you realize that the sun is not your enemy, and clutching your chest, you feel the beating heart, the excitement of your beating heart. Wait a minute, you do have a beating heart. Admirable. Please, all
Why
of
are
you,
we mortals?
go on, Sir Christopher, say what you want.
Why are we mortals?
As you say that, you shudder, both from excitement and out of fear. If you are mortal right now, everything that you have learned in so far regarding vampires means it can be flushed down the drain. But now that I say all these things and that you feel that you are mortals, there is a faint glimmer of hope escaping from your dead heart that's now beating, right? Please, all of you, gain a point of willpower back. It's such an epiphany to feel mortal again. You even look prettier now that you're mortal. Anything to, any actions, responses, or reactions coming from you, dear Pottery?
Sexus is probably just going to revel in the feeling of the sun on her skin once more. It's been so long since she's felt it.
Indeed. Thomas?
I think Thomas is going to look around, slightly confused, but feeling the sun on his skin again is going to be slightly exhilarating.
Indeed. And you, Christopher?
Christopher's actually stunned. He is mesmerized by the rhythm of his beating heart, finding himself where he is, finding himself back in the ancient Roman times. We are not supposed to be here.
Yes, you're not supposed to be here because you have to carry on building the site, says your boss. And I say boss because he exerts that fear into your heart. As soon as you hear his voice, fear starts creeping out of your heart. Your insides get dark again. You don't die, but you feel the importance of the man's words as he struts into the hall. You behold the quote unquote boss of yours, Arcadius Augustus. Arcadius Augustus, the architect, the one whom you are working for. You shouldn't be dawdling. Get up on the scaffolding and do your job. This building needs to be finished in a fortnight. I think we have discussed all those things before, haven't we? He looks at you, the trio. You can sense that in his commanding tone that he is a vampire. Wait, how do you know this thing? That knowledge echoes in your head. The supervisor, the architect, is a vampire. And he's commanding you to do something, and instinctively your heart plummets as you listen to his words. You see his finger pointed at one side. Hurry up and get up the scaffolding, he said. This is an order. He's deadly serious.
Well, looks like this is when we die. However, Augustus, and I climb up the scaffolding. I fully expect to completely fall. Also, Sir Christopher is making a mental note to actually find out what the fuck is up with these memoriam scenes because we are not supposed to have these memories. We are not supposed to be here. We were not alive during the construction of the Mithraeum. We were not alive back in the times of ancient Rome.
But neither was Queen Anne, so
Yeah.
it's not her that did this.
No, this is something different.
Unless we're seeing.
We might be seeing Mithras's memories.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I think it might be Mithras's memories that we might be seeing.
But Mithras is not here either.
We
Is
have
he?
his artifacts.
Hmm. I definitely want to look more into this. By the way, do I see any of the artifacts anywhere in sight?
That's a great question, but from what it looks like, not even the artifacts are here. It all.
So we are here even. Well, it makes sense. We are here during the construction of Mithras' Haven.
Mm. Well, his temple, to be more accurate. This thing really reminds you of the Mithraeum you have been in London. But here, this one, this is just the the beginning of you know of its founding, right? Because here it is not even London. This city is called Londinium.
But with it, I guess we'll just play along. Thomas will start climbing the scaffolding.
And
Yep.
Christopher is going to suppress the need to do a dig somewhere.
Well, if when in Rome.
This would be accurate for Rome, yeah.
Yes, that would be absolutely accurate.
And then Arcadius rests his gaze on you, Sextus.
Yes.
Haven't you heard me, woman? Do you need more beating? Climb the scaffolding up.
Apologies, I was just enjoying your work. And then she goes up the scaffolding.
As you're moving up, he says, "Marvel as much as you like. This entire temple is meant for God. And you, all of you," he screams as his voice reverberates in the entire hall. "You should remember that. You're not building just any storage space, a warehouse, or a ministerial building. You are building a temple for a god to live in." You listen as a small laugh. What are you telling them about again, Arcadius Augustus? Says a man approaching closer. The man is dressed in the attire of a legate. Marcus Verus. You remember the man. You remember him quite fondly. You have seen the man before, talking in a hushed voice to the architect. You have seen him getting warmer whilst close to him, but both of them, they have the same distance. They look like icy sculptures that were given life, devoid of mirth and happiness in their lives. And again, you do feel that this man is indeed, but you feel so close to that man. You want to give him everything you have, and you're just slaves, builders, laboring over it day by day. and
Are we ghouls?
each and every night he will approach. He will get close. He will never talk to you. Now you asked about whether you're ghouls or not, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels as you have a different love, a much more profound, not the one forced by the sanctity of the blood, but one forced by the sanctity of the heart's emotions. You feel that he is your lover, and Arcadius' lover at the same time. Now, says the legate, it's not the time to preach again, Arcadius. We will need your and their help. He motions over to the three of you. Down below. Down below? Do you believe, says Arcadius, that they, of all people, should go underground? Marcus looks at him stares at him quite closely. Yes, they should join us down below.
Oh shit, we're gonna be building the foundation, aren't we?
Damn it. Or built into the foundation.
Yes.
Do you wish to roll perhaps an intelligence plus insight?
Wait.
To read behind his words.
Sure.
What's the difficulty?
Oh.
The difficulty should be 3.
I'm gonna rouse the blood for it, but sure.
I'm gonna spend a willpower point and re-roll this bullshit.
Same.
Are you kidding me?
Really? Well,
Ooh.
that was
Oh, there's
luck.
3.
From what it looks like, Christopher, you might not get what the man implies. You mentioned it, the player mentioned it, but Christopher doesn't feel the danger behind the man's words. Yet, the other two, Thomas and Sextus, you do feel that something's amiss. Something's off. Now, many slaves, many workers would actually go down there without ever returning. And you only think, what's gonna happen to you? Are you gonna have the same fate as they had before? Well, that's only a question. You feel that you will be getting into something that you shouldn't be in the first place. The reactions.
Dux just has that immediate fear response, but she knows she can't say no at this juncture.
I think Thomas would have maybe not the fear response, but the realization that there's not really anything he can do in this situation. Knowing that Kindred can pretty much impose their will on mortals, and in this instance, that we are mortals.
Mm-hmm.
And we are most likely going to come into very close contact with our own mortality very soon.
Yeah.
You heard the man, screams the architect. Grab your stuff and follow us down down here. And he shows a flight of stairs that leads further down into the bowels of the earth, where other servants were led for so many months without ever returning.
Right.
Sexus grabs her gear, looks at the others, and be like, "It's just, it's been a pleasure." She's acting like one scene from Titanic where they're just playing as the ship goes down. That's her right now.
Oh, where they're just like, it's been a pleasure, shaking hands and just take their instruments out and accept fate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like it. All right.
So you do grab your
Nice.
things. Go on, go on.
No, just nice. Come on, let's go.
So you do grab your things as the architect is waiting next to the lake gate to lead you further down the stairs. Oh my, it's happening, isn't it? And so you do step down, step your foot on the marble stairs, and you immediately feel that fear entering your heart. The architect turns to look at you, and he softly says, "Behold, you are entering a sacrosanct place." While I get, he turns to look at your lover. Please lead us. And so you do. You head down, go down the stairs, and you immediately marvel at what you see. You can't believe that you're actually witnessing that right now. There is another temple underneath the temple you were building. And that building is much more grandiose than the existing. Light flashes before your eyes, and you immediately feel that fate and chance drags you away from where you are through the time so that you get to behold something magnificent. That temple ready, built and ready in the Roman aesthetic, reserved for God Mithras. You know that in your heart. You know that Mithras is the one who should be receiving the honors, the patron to whom this temple was dedicated. And I won't lie to you, but you behold the man seated on his throne. Mithras, child of the dark. How the hell do you know all those things? You see the man's pale face, piercing blue eyes, long hair. You see his red cap, He's wearing his red cap and a red robe around him. And that robe is not even Roman. Does anyone of you know what kind of robe that thing is? If you want to know, please feel free to proceed with an intelligence plus academics. The target number for that should be 4. But if you manage to actually save as players, then consider yourselves successful in that role.
I'm going to try it, even though I just have my intelligence in this. I have also forgotten what the color red looks like, apparently.
Sextus and Thomas, do you want to give this a try?
Let me just back here.
I'll be rousing the blood. I'll give you that check in a minute. Difficulty of 3.
Difficulty of 4.
Huh.
Never mind. I can't even make that.
I understand.
With the tasseling and adornments, this little looks like Arabic or Syrian, but what was the roll?
The roll was intelligence plus academics.
Yeah, towards my academics. That's a note down. Damn, I don't have my intelligence. I'd have to rouse to even get a shot.
You can forgo that roll if you don't like, if you don't want to.
Nah, I'll pass because I'm at 4 hunger now. I don't want to come out of the memory frenzied.
Of course, of course.
Didn't you feed off of Sir Christopher last scene?
I did, and then I roused for something earlier.
Right.
Yeah.
The god seated on the throne illuminates. He is radiating like the sun. You look around and you see 2 more people. The architect and the legate. They're here as well. They are kneeling in front of the sun, the carpet.
Yeah, I believe that this is where Sir Christopher realizes that this is where he's being sacrificed.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm a sacrifice.
And on the 3rd day, they ate the builders, and there was much rejoice. Yeah.
So I believe that you are kneeling too, or do you want to resist the urge to do so?
No, I'm just going to completely give in and allow myself to become a part of a greater whole. I mean, devoured by divinity is not the worst way to go, is it?
No, it's not.
I mean, we could be nailed to a cross for all I know. So, yeah, let's do it.
As well.
You prostrate before the sun, and then he extends his hand, motioning at Verus, the legate. Come forward, my son, says Mithras to Verus. And Verus stands up and approaches the throne. You immediately feel the disappointment. You have not been chosen to all. Mithras starts commending Verus on the building of the Mithraeum. He then points at the architect and you, praising you all about your feat, that feat that you managed to pull off. And he immediately locks eyes with you and you and you at the same time, motioning for you to come close.
Sextus is going to be holding her breath when she does this because she has no idea what's going on right now. As in what?
I think at this point Thomas is just kind of enraptured in seeing Mithras again and would gladly go into the sun for him, so he will move forward.
Yeah. She's following along after Thomas.
Of course. Sir Thomas, we assume the same for you. Happens to you too.
Absolutely.
You approach the sun, the only sun that won't burn you, and you see compassion in his eyes. You realize that behind the icy blue stare, a vampire's soul is housed, but that entity is not just a vampire. It's some kiss the ring, asks Mithras. Get down on your knees and kiss the ring, worshippers. He softly asks, dispelling all, casting away all the thoughts, all the passing thoughts that you had. And you look at his right hand, and you remember the ring of the same art as his red cloak is, showing the illuminating sun. Show your devotion to the cause, to me, or there's something else.
Doing it.
Mhm. Thomas, Sextus, are you kissing there?
Made it this far.
Yes, absolutely.
The entity's cold hand, greets your lips as you wrap them around the finger, and you feel the warmth emanating from the item. Excellent, he says in soft voice. You have done well. You have done your god a great service, he says, as he grabs his cap and he brings it with the other hand and he brings it close to his heart. You see the beautiful cap. You feel quite connected to the cap. It's Mithras's Phrygian cap. He says, my son, looking at the legate, this I trust to you. Keep it well. If you must ever choose between saving yourself or saving the cup, choose. The legate stands and grabs the cup as red tears form around his eyes. Thank you, my daughter. I swear to keep the cup safe above everything else. Whom do you love more than me? Asks the son. No one, no one, answers Verus. Whom do you love more than me? The son insists, the warning in his voice so dire it chills to the bone. The legate pauses. Was there anyone about to say something? That's the storyteller asking. I heard someone taking a breath. Nope.
No,
Okay.
I'm in pain, so it's
Whom do you love more than me? Asked the son, and then the legate spits the word out of his mouth without even shaming himself. Arcadius Augustus, he says, as he starts crying. My lord, beg your forgiveness. The entity is not pleased. However, the sun is warm no matter what. It is natural for a father to love his son above all others, he answers soothingly. He extends his hand to gently caress Verus's head. It's all right. Swear on your son, then, that you will keep the cup safe. If the night comes, you must choose between Augustus and the cup. Verus is stunned. I, I swear it, my son. My son. I, I will choose the cup. And in that moment, the sun rays illuminate the entire room as you are getting blinded by the intensity and the enormity, and immediately you fall back to the side, only to realize that you are dressed in some Roman garbs, and then you immediately are thrust back to reality. In the British Museum, the surprise cannot be hidden from your eyes. That vision, that was a vision, right?
Mental note. I want to find out where these visions are coming from. And right now, I treat them as suspect.
I'm just trying to figure out if he's fed off of any Malkavians lately.
But at least we have a target.
too.
Jesus Christ, are we just going to steal Mithras' hat?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, to add insult to injury, allow me to
Do
say
I?
that. Go on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying. Do I need to do my best Nicolas Cage impersonation? We're gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Come on, Nikolai. Now, to add insult
No,
to injury.
no.
Go on, sorry.
I was about to say that no, a Nicolas Cage impersonation is not required. We just went for Monty Python. This is now the quest for the Holy Grail. We need a rabbit.
Pretty much.
Hmm? I can't believe it. You, you, you listen to the people around the display case. That's absolutely impeccable. You see, a magnificent work of art. But of course, says the professor, this item has a lot of a big history behind it. Marvel at it, whilst I tell you of its properties. Who would wear such a thing? Oh, a god.
Mm.
I'm sorry, who? I was just jesting, says the professor. So carry on, carry on.
I'm gonna use heightened senses just to see if the professor is a kindred.
The professor is
If I
immortal. You hear his beating heart. You hear the beating heart of everyone around the display case, and it has gone crazy, as if
okay.
they are beholding the, don't know, Ark of the Covenant or something. But Gwynlyn and Arwen remains unmoved, unfazed. Now, if you want to approach close to the case, you might be able to listen to what the professor has to say about
I do think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
that. So as you approach at the case, your heart skips a bit because you kinda go full. What you behold in front of you pales in comparison to the Phrygian cup you were expecting to see. But Christopher, you see it. You see a golden ring with a black onyx. Your eyes widen by your surprise. Do you remember that?
That is not the ring we kissed. The ring we kissed had a sunburst pattern on it.
You did. But
Why do I remember this ring?
you remember that ring when she was holding it. For me? Says Angelique, whilst looking at you, Christopher. You are in your estate in Belgravia. That was decades ago, before she vanished. Is that is that a gift for me, Christopher?
Of
She
course,
can't.
my beloved. Who else
Sorry,
would it be for? Going into full Christopher mode. Of course, my beloved. Who else would it be for?
she can't hide her happiness and her innocence at the same time. She is not a goddess, but she is your goddess. She has invoked the blush of life, and you know she did that for you only. You don't. She don't need. She doesn't need to hide who she is. She's yours and you're hers. But she wants to afford you the luxury of experiencing that happiness coming from a cheerful human heart. You are such a treasure yourself, but you know that already, don't you, love? She says.
Barely worth the very room I take up by your side.
She smiles as she draws you onto the bed. Now there is some sort of romantic entanglement involved. that only a couple would actually appreciate. And we are just bystanders, watching the true love manifesting in front of our very eyes. The true love amongst kindred. It's such a rare thing that it almost borders at the edges of the myth. But in that case, Angelique Darkwood and Sir Christopher Montague, you were star-crossed lovers, and that thing cannot be changed in any memoriam. Now, Thomas and Sextus, and myself included, we are all passing shadows in that scene. We watch that declaration of love, profound love, and yet we are unable to do anything. But we can feel and share Christopher's emotions. Now, as soon as your romantic moment is through, Christopher, you find Angelique and yourself, both of you naked on the bed, and she is wearing the ring. She looks at the polished onyx. That must have costed you a fortune, she said.
Barely made a dent. You know.
She smiles. Yet I know that
And
I'm worth even.
it was worth every penny, and you know it.
I
You're
know.
worth every penny, and you know
She smiles, playing with you, saying that I know that I'm worth even more, she says as she stands up, allowing her magnificent form to be imprinted in your mind, Sir Christopher. How much have you missed her? She's only dressed, she's only wearing your ring. She's only dressed in your
it.
ring, right? As she looks at it, she immediately joins you to the bed again, giving you a good, passionate kiss. And as soon as you're done, she says that I am gonna keep this. And to be honest, if I need to choose between you and the ring, you hold your breath. I'd always choose you, silly. And instinctively, the smoke of the room dissipates and relocates you back to the museum. Have you recognized something? Something old?
Interesting.
What's interesting, Christopher?
I wonder how this ring found its way here.
Behind the glass case. And
Behind the glass case in the British Museum. Do I also assume correctly that it is in the same display case as Mithras' cap?
no,
Or is it in a different?
it's in a different display case. But you can wrap your head around the fact that it is placed here in the Roman exhibits. First and foremost, why are the
See,
Romans?
see, see, seriously? Who the fuck fucked up this bad? I'm pretty sure that I had that ring custom made in the early 40s. No, I mean the 1940s, not the double 40s.
Not the O for this, yeah. Curious.
Somebody is selling fake, start showing off fake exhibits.
I surreptitiously take my phone, disable the flash, and take a picture of that ring.
Whom are you asking again? Sorry?
I'm not asking. I'm surreptitiously taking out my smartphone,
Hmm.
turning off the
Got it.
flash,
Got it.
and taking a picture of the ring.
Of course, why not? But after you do so, I need to ask all of you, have you noticed something peculiar?
I didn't. I literally botched that roll to infinity and beyond.
Nothing odd, nothing worth piquing your interest.
Not that Thomas has noticed.
Mm.
And Sextus is just very distracted by the artwork around her.
Hmm. I see. There wasn't a thing that Angelique said that really troubled you, was there?
I mean, there was the she chooses him over the ring, but doesn't really. Oh wait, no, she said she would always. Didn't she say she would always wear it?
Mhm. But was there
I don't know. I not gonna lie, I like half paid attention to that part.
okay. Mm, hmm. Okay. Okay, Thomas Wilkins.
I zoned out. I'm not gonna lie.
No worries.
She also said that she's worth a lot more.
So, what brings you here? The voice behind you startles you. She she smiles. May I please? Can you please indulge me in some questions? Besides, you run the show. Huh? She's motioning at the Syndexio uniforms you're wearing.
Lady Owen,
She
pleased to
nods.
make your acquaintance.
She nods as she draws you closer to one side of the room. That's the most interesting turn of events. It is
I
such
believe
a
that formal introductions are in order first if we are not being observed right now.
thank you.
Allow me to present Sextus and Thomas Wilkins. I
We've met
am
before, ma'am. It's been a long time, but a pleasure to see you again.
She narrows her
I am Sir
eyes
Chris.
as go on, go on. Sorry,
Go on, go on.
She only mentions that I have seen your face again, but my memory eludes me.
I may be able to shed some light on this. I am Sir Christopher Montague, and we're here for one of your artifacts. One put to your trust by a common, recently late acquaintance.
one of my artifacts. Hmm.
Technically, I'm here for two of them, but this is here nor there. Needs must, as they used to say. Is there a place where we may converse in private without further disrupting the proceedings? There is no need to trouble anyone else.
Worry not. The best, the highest safety that we can have is around people. Besides, they're not paying attention. But it looks
The
like you are here.
highest, the highest security is courtesy of another common acquaintance of ours. I was surprised to find that you're using this security company. I say tapping the insignia of the Syndexionary.
Ah, this one. Hmm. I don't want to be the bearer of ill news, but this wasn't me choosing them. It was a dear friend of mine. He
May
hasn't
inquire,
vis-
may I inquire as to that dear friend's name?
She smiles. Now is a good time to actually roll that manipulation plus persuasion coming from you, Sir Christopher.
Yes, I will. Um, Flip. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Plus persuasion, right?
Of course, yeah. The target number for that should be two.
Um, Question: do I get anything from status and the betray cult, Camarilla, or my being beautiful in this? Because I don't remember.
Yes, you get your being beautiful dice,
Hmm.
and not the others. Sorry.
Okay, okay, that works.
I will, it does, he says. It is Darius Shirazi, a proprietor, and quite a dear friend to the British Museum. In fact, he has given me the chance to stay here, hidden and unobstructed. Mm, Darius Shirazi.
Uh, Sir Christopher is going to visibly sigh in relief, and his face is going to soften considerably.
But I do wonder
Darius,
how you got the chance to uh, get in the museum. Last time I've heard it was encircled by you know who.
we
We have
may
our
have,
ways.
and we may have pertinent information.